Welcome to Ridge Life. I'm Tim, and today we're going to build some nesting boxes for our meat rabbits. Old Frosty here, he's done his job and he's impregnated both our does, Peppa and Cupcake. Now we gotta get him some nesting boxes made. Now I got a template and we're gonna make 2 nesting boxes, get them all prepared up and get them ready for when our kindling happens. We've got our plans here for our nesting boxes. Now we're using 3/4 inch plywood. You can use a 1/2 inch plywood if you like. You can use OSB. You can pretty much use any material you want. Now just don't forget, if it's wood, the rabbits are going to eat it. So if you're going to paint it, make sure you do it with an acrylic or some sort of paint that is acceptable for rabbits to ingest, because they will ingest it, that's for sure. Our plans call for an 11 inch by 8 inch top. The back is 10 inch by 10 inch. The sides have an 8 inch top. That's the resting area that the rabbit can sit on. And it is 20 inches long and 6 inches tall in the front and 10 inches tall in the back. The front piece, again, will be 10 inches wide and 6 inches tall to mate up. Now the bottom, we're going to use a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch welded wire or hardware cloth. You can use a 1/4 inch, and you can use a solid bottom, like a pegboard with holes in it. But you remember, there are going to be some urine and droppings come through there. Now we're going to line it with our straw. And then of course the doe, she'll pull out her chest fur to create that nice little nest. I've seen some people just under the closed-in section put a solid under the closed-in section and have welded wire or mesh on the front portion. Either way would work just fine. You just got to make sure that the rabbits can't fall through, get their head or leg caught in any holes too large. They can get injured. We're going to make 2 of these nesting boxes, and then we're going to paint them up, the barn brown, same colors, all the things here on the ridge, and we'll get them ready for whenever our does go into kindling. All right, we got the materials for our first box cut. So here's our sides. You see with that set up there. This is our back. Of course, we have the top that the doe can sit on, and then we have the front. Of course, obviously it's going to be much wider than that, but this is the basic arrangement. Now we're going to assemble our nesting box. We're going to use some galvanized common 4D 1.5 inch nails, hammer. You can use screws if you like. Using 3/4 inch, you could use screws just fine. We're using nails. So now we're going to start to assemble our box. Here's our first nesting box. We're gonna make up one more of these. We'll get it painted and we'll have it all ready for whenever our does go into kindling. We've got our nesting box built. Now we're gonna paint them before we put the hardware cloth on the bottom. Now again, you can use solid bottom if you want, if you're in a really cold environment. You may want to do a solid bottom, or you may want to do the pegboard with the holes. It's really up to you. 1/4 inch hardware cloth, 1/2 inch. We're doing 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, so what we got. So we'll put that on the bottom after we get it painted and let it dry. We have got our nesting boxes painted. They look nice barn brown. Now it's time to put the hardware cloth on the bottom. So we got 11 by 20 base here. We've cut out our 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch hardware cloth. Now you can use 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch. The smaller the better for the little bitty kits. You're gonna put cardboard on the bottom anyway initially. That'll keep their little feet from falling through and getting stuck. And you can change this out, and then as they get older you can leave the cardboard out. We're going to put cardboard in initially. So 11 by 20, we already pre-cut these. We're going to use 3/4 inch poultry staples to attach this to the bottom of the nesting box. Get this lined up and we'll get a poultry staple on the corner here. There we go. Let's get it lined up. Make sure everything's straight. Of course, we'll cut the excess off the corners when we're done. There we go. Doesn't take too much, to hold these on. You're just trying to get it to stay firmly attached. Once you've got your hardware cloth attached, make sure you hit all the little pieces sticking out. You don't want them to catch on your little kit's legs, skin. They can get their skin ripped very, very easily. So try to get all that as smooth as possible around the edges. Now we flip it over, and you can see we have the hardware cloth on the inside, and the kits are little. They're going to be inside here. There's nothing sharp. Everything, any sharp pieces are on the edges. So now we're going to put some cardboard. Just put the cardboard down in there and try to go as far back as possible. You can leave a little bit in the front open if you want, but you can make a form-fitting to the bottom. But now with the cardboard in there, that'll keep the little feet from going through the hardware cloth or whatever wire size you use. And then we're going to put hay. We're going to fill this with hay, and I'll show you that here in just a second. We've got our 2 nesting boxes. We've got the cardboard down. We've got the hardware cloth on the bottom. Now we're going to put our hay in here. Now we don't want to use a straw. We want to use a hay. Hay is something that they can eat on. It's not going to be too abrasive for them, and the hay will absorb a lot better than the straw will. So we're going to just fill this up with hay. Now the doe, she will get in here and she will pull this out, put it back in, and she'll get it the way she wants. She'll have her nest up under the back here, and then she'll start pulling her hair or fur out like the day before she goes to into kindling to have her kits. You start seeing them pull their fur out, you're going to have some kits within 24 hours probably. We're just going to go ahead and stuff this full. You ain't got to make a nest. They'll take care of that. You just stuff it full, and they'll take care of the rest. Once you got your boxes full of hay, you want to get them in to the doe around day 25 of the breeding cycle. That way, if she's a little bit early, you'll have it in there, but you don't want it in there too early. They'll start using it as a litter box. They'll get in here and they'll just defecate in here, and that's not something you really want to take care of when they're getting ready to have kits. Another thing is if they use this as a litter box and they end up having their kits outside, those kits in fall temperatures, winter temperatures, they're not going to live more than a few hours. So you want to make sure that you've got a place for her to keep those kits warm and dry and out of the wind. We're back at the rabbitry, and you can see here's Peppa, Frosty, and Cupcake. Cupcake and Peppa are our 2 bred does. Now we'll go ahead and get Peppa's nesting box in here, and you can see our nesting box is painted the same color as our rabbitry, and that's just for aesthetics purposes. We like things that color here on the ridge. I'm going to set this down right next to her, get it all the way into the corner. All the way into the corner. Now one thing is you want to come back from below and attach the hardware cloth on the bottom to your wire bottom of your rabbitry. That way, when she's jumping to and fro, it doesn't move, and little kits, when they start getting older, may get down in between your nesting box and your walls and get killed. We don't want that to happen. So you'll attach the bottom of your nesting box to the floor of your rabbitry. We can see she's got room in the front here to get up here and eat and drink. And of course, she's got a ledge on top so she can sit on. She's got her tile over here, and she's got her sticks. So she's going to be doing really well in this setup for her kindling. Here we are with Cupcake, and you can see she's sitting on her tile there too. We'll get this nesting box put all the way in here. There we go. Got her inside all the way up next to the edges. Put her a little extra. There we go. Now again, she's got room to get up here, eat and drink. This is far enough away, and she can sit on the end of her nesting box. All kinds of room on the side to rest and get some wind and some fresh air. And we got her set up for her kindling. Hope you enjoyed watching us build our nesting boxes here on the ridge. These does are ready to go into kindling at any time. We'll give you updates on that for sure. You can see their kits when they're born. They usually have between 8 and 11 kits. Now these are new bred does. So this will be their first kindling, and you just never know what's going to happen. They may reject the kits. They may do them outside the nesting box. You just got to really pay a close attention to them. Because if they have them outside the nesting box, you need to get them in there quickly, especially this time of the year, so they can stay warm. Well, we'll keep checking on them, make sure that if they do have their kits very soon, we'll keep them safe. And I hope you liked this video. Give a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to RidgeLife if you haven't already. And hit the notification bell to be notified anytime a new video comes out, and you can see when these kits are born. So until next time, I hope everyone has a blessed day, and go RidgeLife.